Everyone, welcome back to Move Over Martha. So today we're going to be doing a furniture restoration. I should have filmed this before I took all the hardware off and stuff, but I totally forgot. I'm feeling a little overwhelmed exactly at the moment, so my brain is kind of fuzzy. Here I have like two captain's beds. They're natural wood. I think there's like a slight stain on it, but it really could use like a whole new life. This is furniture for my summer home. I didn't want to spend a lot of money because I didn't know if we'd like having a summer home like 2 hours away. Maybe we'd have the house a year and sell it. We got the house for a really good deal, so we're giving it a try. This is a lot of Craigslist furniture that I'm just refurbishing. This here is the drawers. I did a captain's bed because this is going in my daughter's bedroom, and it's two twin beds. So to alleviate a lot of furniture, I like the captain bed that the drawers are underneath the bed so that we don't have to put a dresser, and maybe we could put like a little TV stand or something else in there instead of a big old dresser for a few pieces of clothing for a few days of vacation. So that's that. And these are the rails for the bed. So it's two captain's beds and then a headboard and a footboard. Unfortunately, I have to use the footboard. I was thinking I could get away with not using the footboard, so it'd be like a little roomier in the room, but it actually attaches. Otherwise, it's kind of raw wood on the edge, so I have to do that. I actually got both captain's beds with two mattresses. The mattresses were actually brand new in the plastic. And the captain's beds, they've been worn a little. There's a little wear and tear. One of the drawers needs to be fixed a little bit. But I got two mattresses brand new still in the plastic with the two beds for $300. So I didn't think that was a bad deal. It just needs a little TLC. Next is this desk I got here. I already took off the handles on the drawer, and that chair. That chair is actually my chair from when I had my old house in my old dining room, and my husband put it in his store. In a spare room in the store for someone to use. So I actually just took the chair. Why buy another chair if I've already owned one? And one of the chairs from that set broke, so we only had a table with 3 chairs. So anyway, I took the chair. So and next is this little desk that I'm gonna refinish, and I paid like $30 for the desk, or $25, something like that. I didn't think that was bad, and it still has some good life in it. None of the drawers are broken. It has a few nicks and stuff, but for a vacation home for a few days here and there throughout the year, it's pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead now and start cleaning this stuff with like a rag and this stuff called TSP. I've learned most of the furniture refinishing through another lady on YouTube called Alchemy Living. She has like a store in California, and she does a few videos on restoration. And then she does stuff where she restores it for you and you just pay her, but she's in California, so that's not going to happen. And I kind of wanted it to be a DIY project, even though right at the exact moment with the bathroom renovation and this, feeling a little overwhelmed, but I'm moving on. But here's the stuff. It's called TSP Substitute. You just mix it with warm water in a bucket. That's the bucket. I usually use gloves because it is made to like eat the finish off of furniture. Like this desk here has like that formica, not formica, but like that like glazed kind of finish. So it's gonna eat it and then take it down to the raw, which makes the paint stick better. So once I'm done wiping every bit of the furniture where it's gonna get painted with a rag with this mixture, then I'm going to take a 220 grit sandpaper and lightly sand all of it. And then I'm going to wipe it down again with that mixture just to get the grit and everything off of it. And then after that, this is the crazy mess of a garage. I'm gonna use this Valspar paint, and it's this Contractors Primer Interior PVA Primer. That is what I used. I did a TV stand. I should have done the video or even taken a picture of it. It's in the house already over there in our summer home, and I did it with it's like a nice like whitewash finish, and it's in the living room, and it came out really, really nice. And that's the primer that I used on it. So I'm gonna do the TSP, lightly sand it with the 220, wipe it down with the TSP again, then I'm going to use that primer. I'm going to go in between with the 320 grit and then do another coat of primer. After I'm done with the primer, I let the primer sit for like a couple of days to let the primer get nice and hard and stuck on there. Like, I don't recommend priming it and then painting it the color like the very next day or like later that day. I let the primer sit for like 2 or 3 days to get a good bond, and then I go back with it. So I'm gonna start doing that, and then I'll turn the camera back on after I've got everything primed, wiped down, sanded, and ready for the color coat. So we'll see in just a little bit. Alright, so I have primed everything. So let's do a recap. I did the TSP solution, wiped everything down. I then sanded it with the 220 grit sandpaper, wiped it back down with the TSP. Then I did a primer of that Contractors PVA primer, whatever it is, from Lowe's. Then I sanded it with the 320 and gave it another coat. So here it is, all the parts and pieces, all the drawers, the captain's bed, and then I did the boards for the bed. So next, I'm letting this dry overnight. I probably will let it sit all day tomorrow, and I won't touch it. I'll give the primer a good chance to bond. And then there's the desk and the chair. I'll let it sit probably all day tomorrow, and then I'll give it one coat of the colored paint, which is Swiss chocolate. It's like an off-white, and then I go with the minwax and like a chestnut and wipe it on and wipe it off for like a little bit of an aged stain to it. So it'll look really like a whitewash, very beachy. What I'm going to do is give it one coat of that. This has all been sanded again with the 320 after this last coat. So now when I paint it again with the Swiss chocolate, it's going to be a satin paint, and I'm going to give it one coat, and then I'm going to transport it to my other house and give it the final coat, because the last time I painted something, it kind of got nicked up on the way there, and I didn't have the paint to touch it up. So I figured, in case it does get a little bit of a nick here and there, I can just give it its last coat when it reaches its spot. Like, I'll do the last sand to sand down any nicks and whatnot, and then do the last coat for the final thing. So here's this with the primer. The next time I video will probably when it's completely done, and I'll just do an overview of the whole thing and how it looks in the end. So there we have it. I'll talk to you guys soon. Alright, so I'm going to show you the final part of my daughter's furniture. There's my son. Say hi, Kyle. Here it is. It was in that raw wood state, and I painted it. I didn't do the stain like I normally do on the other furniture because I felt it was a girl's room and the white looked nice and crisp in here. I changed the handles to these little crystal knobs, and I did it on the door of the closet also. Not sure why we're not focused, but there it is. I'm going to make some rag quilt comforters for this room and do some little valance on the window. I already have the fabric, and it's like, it has like, not the Disney Little Mermaid, it just has like little mermaids on it, and it's like pink and teal and purple, so it'll be really cute in this room. There's the other bed. Now I'll go and show you the desk that I finished and the chair. So here's the desk I finished. I did that little beachy antiquing stain. I changed the handles. These handles were like a wooden, really thick handle. It was like really 80s, like Miami Vice. It made the set look really dated. So I changed it to a slim handle, and then there's one on the drawer also. I bought that cute little fish tray. I think I like TJ Maxx to set on there. We put like our keys and stuff on it. And then here's the chair that I finished. And I had bought some fabric from a lady at a garage sale, real inexpensive. So I used a piece of that to cover this chair. So there's the final product. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Move Over Martha, and I'll talk to you guys soon.